we must engage with the question of accountability in some way. And here, questions of language come in, questions of the way in which things get organized come in, a whole host of questions come in. You are aware of this, I won't say very much more on this, but to come back to the excuse for all of this, this volume. It's so full of unexpected things, and that's always a good thing in a collection, I think, where now in the internet age, we are all subject to an excess of information. We always already know too much because so much is available. So in this context, to come upon a book where we're not sure what will be next to an analysis or a revisiting of historical materialism. Will there be a history of the comic book and its economic format? Will there be a discussion about a film? Will there be so many things I could talk about that are contained in this volume, which is, to my mind, a very good illustration of the kind of useless knowledge I've been talking about that we really need to defend at this time. Thank you.
I had not planned to react to or take up what my previous speaker, Professor Satish Deshpande, and before that, Dr. Prasanta Chakravarty had talked about, but I realized that what I had to say with some very sort of wooden, just coming after these wonderful talks that we heard from them. So I'm going to try to strike a balance between, the relatively wooden things that I had to say, which may strike some of you as being rather obvious, but I think, especially in the context of, the concerns, the major concerns that were raised by Prasanta and by Satish, they might serve as points of discussion later. That's my hope. So I'm going to talk a little bit largely from the perspective of my discipline, because it occurs to me that linguistics as a discipline, particularly in a funny kind of relationship with the wide expanse of the humanities, is, I submit, a lightning rod discipline of sorts in relation to the dogma of quote-unquote usefulness that Satish just talked about. Okay. Why is that? There is a tension that one sees, and this tension, mind you, was especially brought home to me as I was going through Shrapnel Minima, with its wonderful, eclecticism, variety of themes covered. At the same time, with evidence of so much care in each of the contributions in the volume. These are not just casually tossed out pieces. Okay, one sees tremendous care in each of the contributions of Shrapnel Minima, and they help to sort of sharpen my perspective on linguistics in its sort of, as I say, funny kind of situation in the expanse of the humanities. Okay, there is a tension, especially that was brought home to me, that one sees between, number one, the institutional and conceptual location of linguistics as a disciplinary domain within the humanities, and number two, the push for linguistics to be recognized as one of the quote-unquote special sciences, besides the physical and biological sciences and established social sciences disciplines, which which I, for the present purpose, would like to club with the humanities. Okay, this can be debated perhaps, but for our purposes, the point is that there is a certain kind of premium that is beginning to be placed on, trying to promote the discipline of linguistics as a science. Okay. Some of the grounds there are academic. They're worth taking into account. Others are suspect, quite honestly. So, one piece of argumentation to recognize linguistics as a special science is that language is a category of objects of the natural world with at least partially a biological basis and with a structural core that to a considerable degree of success, I would say, can be described in mathematical and computational terms. But, especially in this second capacity, or this second push for linguistics to be recognized as a so-called science, I claim that this push is also tied with the fact that languages have increasingly come to be seen as technologically useful in ways both good and bad. Languages are placed at a premium, for things like developing, so-called language applications based on different languages. Typically, what happens is that each language is simply taken as a sort of source of data to create a front